and I kind of learned in through my work with disadvantaged youths that I worked with, was you spoke about boundaries and how can you explain that the boundaries thing that you talk about, and how why that's so important for parents to.
So kids can regulate to a certain level, right? But if you go to any elementary school playground and watch kids trying to play football or basketball, it doesn't go well. It never goes well. It's
Yeah.
never a nice little 5v5, everyone following the rules, calling fouls at the right time and cooperating. Never. It's a
No.
scrum. It looks like rugby, regardless of what sport they're playing, right? There's boys on the ground and one's screaming and the other's crying and two are walking away, and right.
Great
But
point.
if
Yeah.
you provide a boundary, the second you provide basketball, for example, suddenly there's a ref and a coach, then you got a game and a
Yeah.
crowd and everyone's fine and they understand the rules. The ref calls a foul and there you go, you're fine.
Yeah.
Pull all that away and it goes right back to where it started before. It's like Lord of the Flies.
So
So same thing with academics, right? Provide that to provide an environment that's safe, to provide an environment where kids know they can make a mistake and be themselves and not be made fun of
yeah.
for either how they look, who they are, how they dress, or what their academics are, whether or not they're a low reader, high reader, whatever, to
Mhm.
just be able to go and learn without feeling that pressure of, oh, these 8 people are better than me at this.
So
How can
that's
you not? You can't do that without parameters. There has to be guidelines.
yeah.
Um, and they have to watch the educator nip that stuff in the bud. Day one,
Right.
no, you cannot speak like that. I
Yep.
will not accept a shout out. I will not expect you, did you just start laughing at that? What does that mean? Why do we not laugh at others? Why do we not roll our eyes? Why do
Yeah.
and
You
explain it?
hold up the boundaries with rules, with some disciplines,
Yep.
and that eventually leads to them feeling safe to
Yes.
be themselves fully, right?
Yes. And I don't use a reward system. I don't use, um, there's no standard punishments. There's none of that. It's just, we really just talk about consequences and natural consequences,
Yep.
and to emphasize the fact there are also positive consequences as well as negative.
Yep.
That yeah, there's a negative consequence for not getting your homework. Yeah, you're not going to recess.
Yep.
Simple, get your work done. But if you did get it finished, hey, not only did you do well on your assignment, but you just got a pretty strong grade on that test you just did. Nice work,
Yeah.
and you learned something. Well done. You can feel good about that.
Yeah.
Um, I tell the kids they get credit either way. You get credit for the good things and you get credit for the bad things. You're the one that's doing it. I just provide an area to work in, you
Yeah.
know.
So you're like
Um,
the ref on the
yeah,
court sort of thing on the.
100%.
Yeah. Nice.
100%. I mean, I ref soccer for 13, 14 years, and the correlations are very strong. My refing made my teaching better, and my teaching made my refing better.
Wow.
Because they're very similar.
Yeah.
You know, you did something you shouldn't have, foul. You did really did something you shouldn't have, yellow card. You
Yeah.
really overstepped, red, bye. You
Yeah.
know, simple.
Consequences.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's
And
a
the
big
kids see
time.
that. Kids are smart.
Yep.
They see it. They
Yeah.
see the positive stuff, especially. If you could get them to switch that mindset to pay attention to the positives. Yeah.
And the cool thing is teaching kids consequences, like the younger you get taught consequences and the less severe they are, it seems like they get worse and
Yeah.
worse the older you get.
Yeah. Yeah. And we talked about this, but how do you explain the next 2 or 3 years coming
Yeah.
for these fifth graders to try to give them just an inkling of what these great habits that you do, how that could benefit you moving forward, as opposed to this thing you're insisting on doing right now that is detrimental to your learning.
Mm,
And to just give them just a second of insight,
yeah.
you know, you see that thing you just did right there? Awesome.
Yeah.
Loved that choice. You wrote the assignment down on the calendar, you went home, you finished it, and you got it turned back in. That's great. I
Yeah.
love seeing that.
Yeah.
Continue. you know.
Yes, give them that verbal reward type of thing. And
Yeah, and you get some kids that tend to beat themselves up too if they didn't write it down, they didn't take it home, or maybe they did take it home and they didn't do it. The first step is them just self-eliminating themselves, and you just stop that. Just okay, let's get it finished, and then tonight redo, right? Take the next thing home,
yep,
improve on that. That's fine.
can we learn from that? Yeah, yeah. Okay, awesome.
You can do it
So,
with trust.
sorry.
You can do it with trust if they believe in you. You can
Yeah,
do it.
that's the building that trust
Yep.
and yeah.